All right, we are on page 309. This is the independent practice for lesson 11.2. The directions read, write and solve an equation to answer each question. Number 10 says, a wildlife reserve has 8 elephant calves born during the summer and now has 31 total elephants. How many elephants were in the reservoir before the summer began? So a couple keys here. One, it says they have a total of 31. So the end of my equation will be equals 31. And the operation is going to be there were some born. That means we added to our total. So if we didn't know the number of elephants and then we added 8, it would look like this. The number of elephants plus 8 is going to be equal to 31. And then we're supposed to both write the equation and we're supposed to solve it. And we'd solve by subtracting 8. And 31 minus 8 is 23. So the answer is there were 23, E equals 23 elephants born before, should probably put the word elephants. There were 23 elephants born before, there were 23 elephants in the wildlife reserve before the babies were born. All right, let's move on. Number 11 says, my sister is 14 years old. My brother says that his age minus 12 is equal to my sister's age. How old is my brother? So if we don't know the brother's age, we can start with B. And it says that we're supposed to minus 12. And if we to take his age and subtract 12, we're going to get his sister's age, and his sister is 14. So the equation is brother's age, B, minus 12 equals sister's age. How do we solve this? We add 12. And 14 plus 12 is 26. The brother is 26 years old. You don't really have room for it, so 26 years old, for sure. All right, moving on. Number 12. Kim bought a poster that cost $8.95 and some colored pencils. The total cost was $21.35. How much did the colored pencils cost? So the key here is that we bought something, $8.95, and then we bought something else, and it says some colored pencils. That means we don't know the price, but we do know the total that was spent. The total was $21.35. So the expression could be something like $8.95 plus C for colored pencils is equal to $21.35. Now, what do we do here? This one looks a tiny bit different than the previous problems. Remember that we solve addition equations by subtracting. So we're going to subtract $8.95. And if we subtract carefully, we're going to get the right answer. So 5 minus 5 is 0. I can't do 3 minus 9, so I'm going to borrow from this one right here and make it 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. And 20 minus 8 is 12. The answer is $12.40. A little bit messy. They didn't give us tons of room there. But as long as you write $12.40, we should be in good shape. All right, let's check out numbers 13 and 14. Number 13 reads, the Acme Car Company sold 37 vehicles in June. How many compact cars were sold in June? We don't know that, so I could put a C for compact. We know there were 8 SUVs sold. So how is this like the other problems? Well, it says that 37 is the total. They sold 37 vehicles. So that's the end of my expression. And the beginning of my equation is there were 8 SUVs plus the number of compact cars is equal to a total of 37. We solve this addition by subtracting 8. And I would get C is equal to 17 minus 8 is 9. And I borrowed 3, making it 2. So 2 minus nothing is 2. It's 29. 29 compacts. And I haven't been doing a good job of this on the previous problems. I really should have been. You can just check these by checking your answer. Is 29 plus 8 37? It is. Could have done that on the previous problem too. So sorry I wasn't doing that. We should be checking our answers. Number 14 reads, Sandra wants to buy a new MP3 player that is on sale for $95. She has saved $73. How much more does she need? So she has $73 that she saved. She needs more, which means she needs to add to her total. And how much does she need is $95. The expression here would be the $73 that she has, plus a little bit more, it's going to equal 95. How are we going to solve this? We're going to solve by subtracting 73. 95 minus 73 is 22. 5 minus 3 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. The answer is 22. How much more money does she need? She needs $22 more. Okay, let's move on. We are going to number 15. Oh, and we should check it too. I just said that. She has $73. If she saves $22 more, she'll have enough to buy the $95. All right, perfect. We are on number 15. Ronald spent $123.45 on school clothes. He counted his money and discovered that he had $36.55 left. How much money did he originally have? So pay attention to the fact that we've done a lot of addition equations so far, and this is going to be a subtraction one, and here's why. He had money left. That means that a subtraction problem took place and that there was money left. So let's think about the correct order. We know that it's going to be $36.55 is going to be our equals. What's going to happen at the beginning of this? He spent some money. If he spent that money, is it the original amount he had? Let's think about it, what it says. It says, how much money did he originally have? That means we don't know how much he started with. I'm going to put an M for money. And then he spent money, which means subtract. So this is the correct order. Let's review and make sure we think this is right. He had some money, we don't know how much. He spent some, that means subtract, and he ended up with this much. And so that in your mind should make perfect sense. Yes, that does make sense. So now how do we solve subtraction equations? We solve by adding. So I'm going to add $123.45 to both sides of the equation. $123.45, a minus $123.45, and a plus $123.45. Those cancel, and all that's left is M equals. Now I need to carefully add $123.45 to this side of the equation. And that's not too hard. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And 1, you get $160. He started with $160. Now I'm going to prove that by checking my work. If I start with $160 and I subtract $123.45, I have $36.55 left, so it makes perfect sense. Number 16. Britta withdrew $225 from her bank account. After her withdrawal, there was $548 left in Britta's account. How much money did Britta have in her account before the withdrawal? This is really the same idea. She withdrew money. That's kind of like spending it. She had money left. That means it's to the right of the equal sign. How much did she have before the withdrawal? We don't know. Put S for savings. So she had some money. She subtracted $225. That's a withdrawal. She had $548 left. That equation there should make sense. Now how do we solve a subtraction equation? We solve by adding. I'm going to add 225. 225 minus 225 plus, that cancels. So all that's left on that side of the equation is S. If you add 225 to 548, you get 8 plus 5 is 13. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And 5 plus 2 is 7. She started with $773. I'm going to prove that by saying she started with $773. She withdrew $225. She had $548 remaining. Perfect. All right, we are on number 17. Represent real-world problems. Write a real-world situation that can be represented by 15 plus C equals 1750. Then solve the equation and describe what your answer represents for the problem situation. So basically, we need to go through and pick out something similar to what we did earlier. I like to use money on these. Terry bought a, CD for $15 and a candy bar. The total amount he spent was $17.50. How much was the candy bar? Now let's talk about why that makes sense here. The CD was $15, and means you add. The candy bar price is not listed, therefore it's C. The total amount means equal was $17.50. And then what do we not know? Well, what we don't know is C, the candy bar. We're actually supposed to solve it too, and you can pretty much do this mentally. If you subtract, I'm going to go up here and solve it. I'm going to solve it right here. If you solve it right here, if you subtract 15, you have C is equal to 17 minus 15 is 2, plus my cents is 2.50. The answer, how much was the candy bar? The candy bar was $2.50. That's pretty much mental math. The candy bar is $2.50. All right, one more problem. We're on number 18, critique reasoning. Paula solved the equation 7 plus 10x. She got 17, but she is not certain if she got the correct answer. How could you explain Paula's mistake to her? So she did 7 plus x equals 10, and then she got 17, and that makes a little bit of sense. 7 plus 10 is 17. But what I would tell her is that if she checked her answer, it wouldn't be right. So let's take x out and use our calculator. 7 plus 17, she thinks is going to be 10. And it's not, it's 24. So how could you explain her mistake? Well, what should she have done? Instead of adding 7, what should she have done? This is an addition equation, and you've heard me say a number of times now that you solve addition equations by subtracting. She shouldn't have done 10 plus 7 is 17. She should have done 10 minus 7 is 3. X is equal to 3, and that makes sense. We can prove that. 7 plus 3 is 10. That makes more sense. What should she have done? She should have subtracted 7 from 10 instead of added. She solved an addition equation by adding, and we don't do that. We solve addition equations by subtracting. Okay, cool. Good job. You are done with page 309.